Okay, today is the 16th of November of 2019, and this is a video that I'm making to show what has been started already here in our basement. Basically, this is um, a propping up and lifting of the house. With these 4x4 beams. They used these hydraulic lifts. I didn't get to watch them do it, but they did a really nice job of cleaning up afterwards. I happen to have a trash can here, so they put all the dust and stuff that they from the cutting of the wood that they did. Basically, our house has a foundation wall that is compromised. It has been cracking and bowing inwards for a long time. We don't know for how long. We moved here about 3 years ago, and about 5 months into our move, we found out that the wall here, it was bowing in. It was finished with this wood here. So this wood paneling was all around the entire basement, but we kept getting water in the basement, on the floor, on the ground here, and so I removed all of the wood from the area where it was. I should have removed all of it. Like, there's that part right there, and it kind of goes around this area here, but that didn't seem to be where the problem was, so I just left that. But I did remove from obviously that corner all the way that way. So you can see here that there is a pretty wide gap between the cinder blocks. It doesn't look as big on the video, but it's pretty bad. And if you measure from the top of the top cinder block, say to the top of this 4x4 here, and then you go halfway here, and then you measure down there, it's closer in the middle here by like 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So it's really bowed in like a spoon. So and it has been getting worse. I actually attempted to put more cement in there. As you can see, it's cracked, and so I only did a little bit because it wasn't to keep the wall together, because I knew that wasn't going to be enough. But I just wanted to get rid of the wind, the cold air coming into the basement from these. See, there you can see some more cracking, and then even especially in the corner here, you can see where it's really bad, where it's actually breaking the blocks there. So, and obviously it's very humid, so the blocks look very ugly. And also, we just as a fun fact, we have asbestos tiles in our basement, except for those black ones there that were replaced at some point a long time ago. Now, we were told that there was no water issue with the house. All this whole wall right here, from about right there all the way to the other corner over there, that's all going to come down. And in order for it to come down, they had to lift the house a little bit. They had to jack up the house, as they say. When I looked on the internet, it was I couldn't find any specific answers to my questions, like how much does this cost to do? What exactly does it look like jacking up a house? Well, this is what it looks like. So you've got these metal I-beams here that they use. Obviously, they've been used many times before. and they just prop it up, and it made me. This is actually a lot different than what I imagined. So it's pretty neat. Our particular project, because we're only doing 2 walls, although this one here is pretty long, it's over 50 feet long. So I don't know, different houses might have different cost estimates, but ours ended up being approximately, in order to tear down the wall and rebuild it from that corner all the way, $36,000. See, nobody would tell us on the internet how much it was going to cost, so we got more than one estimate, and they were all over $30,000 for this. So some people say, oh, you have to buy a new house. Well, it's not like that, but we did have to get a pretty sizable loan from the bank in order to do this, and we're going to be paying on it for quite some time. So you just pretend like it's a car that you're never going to drive. So that's it. They're going to remove the windows. We have 3 windows here. I had closed those 2 with some insulation, but those are going to be gone. And on that wall over there, part of the cost will be putting a brand new window that's much larger than these smaller ones here. These smaller ones are neat because you can get some light into the house, but they're useless to try to get in and out of. So they're going to put a new, bigger window on that wall there. And that's it. That's the north wall, by the way. And this is the east wall. So I don't think we're going to get as much light in here as we do with the 3 small windows. But who knows? It might be really neat to see. This window that they're going to put here will be 50 some inches by some, I don't know exactly, by 30 some inches. So it'll be wide enough, big enough that we'll probably keep it closed most of the time, but if we want to get out of it for some reason or get into the house through it for some reason, we'll be able to much easier than before. So that's it. This is what's happening. Maybe it doesn't look as bad in the video, but it's been getting worse and worse over time, over the 3 years that we've been here, and it was already bad. All of this here in the middle was basically completely loose mortar, and it had fallen out. So there's areas where I did not put cement. Obviously this is original, and you can see, for example, in this area here, this is loose. Not as bad now because obviously it's not going to show just because I'm trying to film it. So, but all this right here is all cracked and coming off. Actually this corner here wasn't even this bad before. So, but there's more cracking here. There. It goes all the way up to the top. So, obviously, it was missed during the inspection because of this finish that we had, that we thought, oh, that's pretty neat. Another thing this house had that we ignored, but then we found out that it was still a problem, was carpenter ants. So they had carpenter ants for a long time, and they had sort of taken care of it, I guess. We were told that it was not a problem. We even had an inspection by the pest inspector. Look at that. That's really bad. So it was everywhere. A lot of the wood, unfortunately, there. I mean, it was everywhere. Apparently it was the largest infestation damage he had ever seen, the inspector. But he didn't find any carpenter ants at the time. That's because they were in the roof. There was enormous infestation a very big nest of them in the roof of the house. And we also had trees outside that were rotting, and the ants were falling from the trees. The trees were infested with carpenter ants. So we had the trees removed, but then we had to have the entire roof replaced, stripped down, and replaced completely. And during that replacement, they found the nest and bombed it and killed all of the ants. But not before they invaded the house again for us, so that we had ants falling from the ceiling onto the floor, and it was a nightmare that day. So this has been pretty fun, but hopefully anybody gets something out of this. And this is a long video. I just kind of venting as I talk here because it's been pretty frustrating these past 3 years. But now finally we're getting this done. They're going to excavate the outside of the house. They're going to knock down the wall. They're going to rebuild the wall. They're going to set the house back down on top of the new wall with a, of course, like I said, the window there. And then on the outside, they're actually going to put a new sump pump in, a sump crock with a pump in here. I think in that corner over there. And then, and we already actually have 2 crocks in here. So, and this is also not a good system. We're going to have to redo this system someday. The only one that really does anything is this one. This one here is the auxiliary one. It's supposed to go off in case that one doesn't. But there's not really a good way to test it, and it's all hooked up to the same electrical plug. I really want one of those water based systems as a backup, but we just haven't. There's just so many things to do, one thing after another, and we just haven't gotten to it yet. So hopefully, this is a very weird looking system. This is our internet cable, by the way. But anyway, that's it. So they're going to excavate, and then they're going to fill it with stone because we have clay here. We feel the clay has expanded and contracted, and over the years it's broken the wall in. So they're going to fill it with stone. They're going to create a new drainage system, and so that's it. I know I talked a lot, but I just wanted to make this video as a way for the future, like when we look back, we can watch this and say, oh, this is what it was before it got fixed. And then once it gets all replaced, once the wall gets replaced, we're gonna finish the basement properly, because that's ugly, and that's ugly. The ceiling is horrible. They're going to remove all this white stuff here and then put new, more modern finish with better lighting and all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. And then this is going to be like a shop for working. So it's a pretty decent sized basement. I think we can use the space really well. And I'm trying to get rid of this pool table too that came with the house. It was too heavy. They didn't want to take it with them when they sold the house, so they just left it. Did not tell us that they were leaving this pool table. We don't play pool, and so yay, there's another thing that we have to somehow figure out how to get rid of. So, but that's it. That's all my stuff. And that's a crawl space entrance right there. So, all right. So that's it. This is what it looks like. In case anybody was ever curious, what happens when you jack up a house. And they said it was going to go up maybe an eighth to a quarter of an inch up. So that just relieves the pressure off of the wall so they can take the wall down. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad on the video, but in person you can see the bowing really well. That's cement that I put in because it just looked so ugly, and Obviously I don't know how to mess with cement, so I just mixed it with water and I put it in there. Like tuck pointing, as they say, you know. I just watched a couple of videos, and it wasn't that I was trying to stop the wall from coming down, because I knew that wasn't going to stop. It was just that I wanted to stop looking at the stupid gaps formed by the lack of mortar in between the cinder blocks. That's all. So, and that's it.